Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Hi guys, and happy Wednesday morning. Yes, I know that right now I'm back to putting up videos every day. However, my furniture is arriving and the pod with our belongings are arriving in a few days, and I may slow it down then because I'm going to have to unpack. But let's see what we can get done in the meantime, okay? So we have a very interesting video for you today. Make sure you stick around to the end. You're not going to want to miss this. Not kidding. All right, let's jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. To start with, I want to thank Queen Camilla on Twitter for the picture of this gorgeous coronation pin and these other coronation pins as well. They're gorgeous. She was also able to get me this, which is the official protocol on the flying of the flags, which marks the coronation. It was issued by the College of Arms. Love it. Next up, the King's Racing Stables are going to open their doors to the public for the first time for an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour in celebration of the coronation. Guests will be welcome to the yard in partnership with Discover Newmarket. Trainers will be on hand to take visitors around the stables where the royals have their horses. And after visiting, the trainers can take them to the famous training grounds to watch the horses complete their morning exercise. And then brunch and bubbles will then be served before the guide takes guitars on a tour of the National Stud, which includes a stallion parade featuring the mighty Stradivarius. Very nice. The tour will end with a visit to the National Horse Racing Museum, which is located on the former site of King Charles II's palace and stables. Wonderful. Moving on. Moving on, the very first rehearsal for King Charles's coronation took place. They went from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Abbey, and it took place apparently in the early morning hours, I guess, so they wouldn't disrupt traffic. Well, practice makes perfect. And I guess you do have to try to prepare. I don't know how you could prepare the horses per se. How do you prepare them for the crowd, and the yelling and all the stuff that could be going on? Moving on. The BBC announced that they got a Welsh singer to sing at the coronation and the concert the next day. Pretty cool. Moving on. Next up, Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, went to a coronation big lunch that was hosted by Justin Welby, who is the Archbishop of Canterbury, for different faith leaders at Westminster Abbey. He brought along a quiche that was baked. Apparently that's the first time that was ever done. And the dish that he brought was special savory. Now, some of the guests that were there were other faith leaders like Dom Prue-Laith. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. Looks like everybody had a good time. Looks like the quiche there was delicious. Oh my God. The food in London, I just can't wait to get there and try some of these dishes. I keep hearing about them, and every time I see these pictures, I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah, that quiche looks good. And there it is, quiche Lorraine. Very funny. Moving on. All right, it's now come out that the official souvenir program for King Charles and Queen Camilla's coronation has a photo of Harry and Meghan in it. The picture that they're using is from 2008, and it was taken to mark Charles's 70th birthday, 6 months after their wedding. Now, I got to be honest, I firmly believe that that picture is being used because, quite frankly, Charles doesn't have any other pictures of the entire family together. This is the only one he has. Now, supposedly the news we've already heard, they're putting out the spin that Harry and Meghan spoke and they had positive conversations and blah, blah, blah. But I don't believe that's true because I think Harry is not done. We've already heard there's another book. Meghan's got another book. He wouldn't be that stupid, Charles would be, to talk to Harry. And according to Neil Sean, it was the courtiers who had discussions, that Charles never had a discussion about or with Harry about his attendance. I find it interesting, though, that he put their picture in. Obviously, he was expecting them. Now, people are claiming that the reason Charles chose this photo is because it leans towards family unity and affection, and it suggests a desire and optimism for a return to the loving core of the UK monarchy. Obviously, we all know that that is never going to happen. Now, we've all been made aware also that the coronation confirmation was delayed because of the ping-ponging back and forth over demands for the children and demands of where they were going to be seated. They wanted those kids on the balcony. Nope. They wanted the kids in that procession. Nope. They wanted at a state event, at a coronation, they wanted the king somehow during the coronation to acknowledge Archie's birthday. Nope. So when all of that went the wayside, that was it. Now, King Charles apparently did decide that the coronation lunch, he might raise a glass and give a toast at the end and go, oh, and by the way, let's toast to my grandson. It's his 4th birthday today. But that was all the accolades he was going to get. And now that they're not coming, he's scrapping it. So what's being claimed is that Harry is going to fly in, do the coronation, get on a plane, fly 10 hours back so he can make it just in time for Archie's birthday. I mean, come on, people. And then they're going to put the pictures up and they're going to try to take the attention away from Charles. We know how that works. But this tweet from Meghan's mole really makes you think, because the truth is nobody has seen him since supposedly he flew home. There's not one picture of him back on American soil. I wonder if he did fly home. Maybe he's staying there. You never know. So the stories are coming out, a last goodbye, house arrest, what's going to happen? Well, they're saying that he's going to use Frogmore Cottage one more time, and then that's it. We already know there will be no reunion with William after the allegations leveled at William by Harry in The Spare. That book is going to stand for all time. It's not like Harry can just take it back. So that's going to be it. And in the end, Harry's big problem is going to be Queen Camilla. And I'll explain that in a minute. And we all know the truth of the matter is the only reason he's coming is he's hoping to use this for Netflix for more money. So what's going to end up happening? He's going to go home, and if he didn't talk to anybody and he doesn't have anything, he'll just make something up because that's their currency. And as far as Camilla goes, she's going to be queen. And I agree with what Paul Baldwin said. Harry's going to be just another loser. Yep. Now, I completely agree with what Dan Wooten said here. Harry already tried to make, when Philip died, what happened? They sent a wreath. Then they released that, who made the wreath, what was in the wreath, that Meghan wrote a personal card, what she wrote. I mean, they tried to make his death a PR exercise. And it's the same thing that happened when the Queen died a few months ago. They used it again as a PR exercise. So he made the funerals of the Queen and Prince Philip and the Platinum Jubilee all about him and Meghan and their constant psychodrama. And people are sick of it. I mean, they're really sick of it. Oh my goodness. So, I completely agree that they should just be frozen out. Absolutely. Now, I'm going to finish the story on the royals with this article that came out that said that Meghan wants her children to know their grandfather, Charles in particular, when they are not going to know their other grandfather. Because, don't forget Harry said she lost him, because of him. She didn't lose him. He's still very much alive. 3 hours up the road, but she is refusing to let her dad have any contact. The truth is, she's keeping contact with Charles because she doesn't want Charles to take the children's titles, strip them of their Sussex titles, and throw them to the wind. That's really what's going on here, people. All right, you guys. Now, I have a discussion for you guys. There's something I want to say to you. So here we go. Hi, guys. I'm ending this video by simply pointing something out. You guys can see I don't Photoshop. I would have no clue how to Photoshop. I don't try to hide my facial scars. You guys know what happened to me with my accident. If you don't, you can go back and see the pictures. They're pretty horrific. I think my plastic surgeon did a decent job of putting my face back together. But here's my point. I have no issues showing my face. I have no issues going gray. After all, people pay for this color. And I can hold my head up and know that I was a good, working, productive member of society for, I'm coming into retirement age soon. So when people put stuff up like this on Twitter to try to shame me in some fashion, what it does actually, it doesn't shame me. You have to look at who's putting it up. Somebody who photoshopped his own image because he's obviously embarrassed by the way he looks. I kept looking at this picture going, who does he look like? Why does he look so familiar? And then it struck me, Shrek. He looks like Shrek. He has the same facial expressions as Shrek when he's trying to speak. When he's got one eye open, one eye closed, he looks like Shrek. But no amount of working with him is going to fix his heart. So I'm going to continue to point out to you guys what I've said before. He obviously has a massive inferiority complex. He obviously, in my opinion, has serious issues with women. We know how he works. I'm going to put a platform up for no bullying. And then he goes on Twitter and bullies people. We all know how he works. You guys, you have to pray for this man. I've told you that before, because he is on the downward spiral. We all know it. Nate's case is more than likely going to go to discovery, and this man's scam, because that's what I think about Sentinel is going to go bye-bye, just like Iconic Expert went bye-bye, just like his dating site went bye-bye. All of his schemes have failed, every single one. That's God doing that. God's in charge there. So I'm simply telling you guys that when you have somebody who sits around and goes, I live in a $1.1 million condo, but forgets to mention he doesn't own it. He's renting. You have to look at people like that. People who say, look at me and look at her. She downgraded. I didn't downgrade. I downsized. And technically, with the upstairs, I didn't downsize. I went larger. But I won't be going up those stairs. So you guys know where I'm going with this. Just ignore him. He's a loser. On the nth level, the man's a loser. Just let him spout. Let him talk. Let him do whatever it is he wants to do. And just remember, somebody who throws out misogynistic comments, he represents Harry and Meghan. He worked for Harry and Meghan, just like the Sussex Squad. When they throw out those comments, they are representing Harry and Meghan, because I think that's how Harry and Meghan behave. All right, well, the animals are all happy once again to be together. And here's something I've never seen before, and I mean never. Tigger and Finn, butt to butt. Look how happy. You guys know how much I love animals. You should pause this right here and read it. Definitely worth it. But all right, so you know what I'm looking for. Leave those comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified of future uploads. Don't forget to go into the description box and get the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, my physical address in case there's something you want to send. For those of you who've donated through the coffee fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.